My friends, the greatest victories in life are never won in the public eye. They are born in silence and solitude, in the sacred moments where you disappear from the noise of the world to confront yourself. For it is only when a person willingly withdraws, when they dare to vanish from distraction, that they can begin the true work of transformation. There comes a point in every person's life when the noise of the world becomes so loud that it drowns out the whispers of their own potential. Crowds will tell you who to be, friends will remind you who you were, and society will measure you by standards that do not belong to you. In such a storm of voices, it is easy to forget your own. That is why the first act of transformation is to step away. Stepping away does not mean abandonment. It does not mean giving up on the people you love or the responsibilities you hold. It means creating sacred distance so that you can hear the call of your own destiny. The farmer who wishes to plant a new crop must first clear the field. In the same way, you must clear space in your life to plant new thoughts, new beliefs, and new disciplines. Without this withdrawal, the seeds of your future are choked by the weeds of distraction. Understand this. Progress often looks like retreat to those who do not understand the journey. They may say you are isolating yourself, becoming distant, even failing. But do not be deceived by appearances. The caterpillar must disappear into the cocoon before it can emerge as a butterfly. The seed must vanish beneath the soil before it can break the ground as a tree. You are not vanishing to shrink, you are vanishing to expand. And when you return, you will not be the same. Those who doubted you will see that your silence was not weakness, but preparation. You stepped away not to hide, but to rise. Every moment you spend away from distraction, you sharpen your vision, you strengthen your spirit, and you step ahead of the crowd that never paused to reflect. If you desire true transformation, you must first be willing to shatter the image of the person you have been. The greatest obstacle to your future is often not the world outside, but the identity you continue to carry inside. Too many cling to who they were yesterday, believing that the habits, the attitudes, and the limitations that once defined them must remain forever fixed. But nothing in nature stays the same. Rivers carve new paths, seasons turn without asking permission, and even mountains shift with time. Why then should you remain bound to an old version of yourself? To break the mold of who you were means to challenge the very patterns that have kept you comfortble yet stagnant. It means admitting that some of your beliefs were born out of fear rather than truth, that some of your habits were built on convenience rather than vision, and that some of your excuses were nothing more than chains disguised as logic. You cannot step into a greater destiny while carrying the weight of a smaller identity. This breaking is not gentle, and it is not easy. It may feel like losing yourself. You may grieve the routines that once gave you comfort, the people who knew you only as you used to be, the image you worked so hard to protect. But understand this, you are not destroying yourself. You are discarding the shell that no longer fits the spirit inside you. Just as a snake must shed its skin to grow, you must let go of the layers of self that have been outgrown. Do not fear this rupture, for on the other side lies freedom. When you refuse to be trapped by your old patterns, you create space for new power, new creativity, and new strength to flow through you. And those who meet you after this breaking will not see the person you once were. They will see someone reborn, someone who chose courage over comfort, someone who dared to break the mold rather than stay confined within it. When the world is watching, it is easy to perform. It is easy to put on a show of discipline, to appear strong, to speak words of change. But transformation does not come from performance. It is born in the quiet, unseen hours when no applause is given and no recognition is offered. The habits you build in those hidden moments will one day reveal the truth of who you have become. Silence is a furnace where character is forged. In the absence of an audience, you come face to face with the raw material of your life, your thoughts, your choices, your persistence, or your lack of it. If you can master yourself when no one is watching, you will never have to worry about being strong when the spotlight comes. For strength rehearsed in private becomes unshakable in public. Consider the athlete who trains before dawn, the writer who fills pages when the world sleeps, the leader who studies when others waste time. None of their greatness begins on the stage. It begins in the discipline of unseen practice. And so it must be with you. Use your silence to construct the daily rituals that will carry you forward. Whether that is rising early, feeding your mind with wisdom, mastering your craft, or simply choosing one small act of discipline that over time becomes an unbreakable foundation. The world may not notice your silence now. They may not see the books you study, the hours you sacrifice, the choices you repeat day after day. But make no mistake, silence is an investment. Every hidden effort is a seed planted. And when the season is right, those seeds will grow into achievements so undeniable that people will call it sudden success. But you will know the truth. It was not sudden. It was the quiet labor of your habits, built faithfully in the dark, that prepared you for the light. So do not despise silence. Do not rush to prove yourself too quickly. Use your unseen hours wisely, for it is in the quiet that you forge the strength to be unshakable, and it is in the silence that you prepare to speak with power when your moment arrives. Growth has never been a gentle teacher. It does not arrive with comfort, nor does it whisper with softness. Growth introduces itself through discomfort, through struggle, through the pressure that demands you stretch beyond what you thought possible. Too often, people run from this pain, mistaking it for punishment, when in truth it is preparation. Pain is not the enemy of progress. It is the proof that you are transforming. Think of the seed buried beneath the soil. To become a tree, it must break apart, it must split open. That breaking is not pleasant, yet it is necessary. Without it, no roots would take hold, no stem would push upward, no fruit would ever exist. In the same way, you cannot remain whole in your old form and still expect to grow. Something in you must crack, something in you must be surrendered so that something greater can emerge. The pain of growth often feels like loss. You may lose friendships that no longer align with your direction. You may lose comfort in routines that once felt safe. You may even lose the image of yourself that you've carried for years. But do not grieve too long, for what you are losing is not your life. It is your limitation. The discomfort you feel is simply your soul outgrowing the cage it once lived in. Yes, growth will demand sacrifice. It will ask you to wake earlier, to work harder, to persist longer than others. It will test your patience, stretch your endurance, and challenge your resolve. There will be days when your body aches, when your mind resists, when your heart wants to quit. But remember this every time you choose to press forward instead of retreating. You are proving to yourself that you are stronger than the pain. And once you master the pain, you master the growth. Nothing of value comes without struggle. The mountain climber treasures the summit because of the climb. The warrior values victory because of the battle. And you will cherish your transformation because you endured the fire that forged it. Do not pray for the pain to end too soon. Pray instead for the strength to endure it. For on the other side of that discomfort lies a version of you more powerful, more resilient, and more unstoppable than you have ever known. Every great transformation begins first in the imagination. Before the body can move, the mind must see. Before the hands can build, the vision must be drawn within the heart. If you cannot picture yourself as greater, stronger, freer, and more accomplished than you are today, then you will forever remain bound to what you have always been. But the moment you begin to visualize a higher version of yourself with absolute clarity, the moment you dare to believe in that image, the process of transformation begins. The mind is the workshop of destiny. It accepts the blueprints you feed it and shapes your actions to match. If you continue to see yourself as weak, unworthy, or limited, your behavior will quietly submit to that image. But if you create a vivid picture of yourself rising above your current state, walking with confidence, building with discipline, speaking with power, then your subconscious will begin aligning your choices with that vision. You will find yourself drawn toward the habits, the people, and the opportunities that match the picture you hold. Do not underestimate the power of this inner rehearsal. The greatest leaders, inventors, and dreamers in history lived their victories in their minds long before the world ever saw them. The athlete visualizes the finish line before the race. The architect sees the building before the first stone is laid. The conqueror wins the battle in thought before a single sword is raised. They do not wait for the future to reveal itself. They command the future by seeing it clearly first. But visualization is not daydreaming. Daydreams are soft wishes. True vision is a command. It is precise, detailed, and intentional. See yourself not vaguely successful, but specifically victorious. Picture the posture you will carry, the words you will speak, the places you will stand, the impact you will make. The clearer the picture, the stronger the pull. When your vision burns so brightly within you that it feels more real than your present struggles, then nothing can keep you from becoming it. Hold fast to that image even when reality mocks you, even when your current circumstances contradict it. Remember, a seed does not look like a tree, but within it the tree already exists. Likewise, the person you are destined to be already exists within your imagination, waiting for you to water it with faith, nurture it with action, and guard it with persistence until it breaks into reality. So dare to see yourself beyond your limits. Dare to imagine not only who you are, but who you must become. For once the vision is fixed in your mind, the body will follow, the habits will align, and the world will eventually witness what you first saw in silence. There comes a moment after the silence, after the struggle, after the hidden work, when you must step back into the world. Transformation is not meant to be locked away forever. You did not disappear simply to remain unseen. You disappeared to prepare. And when that preparation is complete, you must return with power. When you reemerge, let your presence speak before your words ever do. Let your discipline be visible in the way you carry yourself. Let your confidence radiate from your actions, not your declarations. You will not need to convince anyone of who you have become, because your results will do the talking. The doubters, the skeptics, the ones who questioned your absence, they will be silenced not by arguments, but by the undeniable evidence of your transformation. Do not rush this return. Return only when the new version of you is solid, when the habits are no longer fragile experiments, but permanent foundations. The world does not need to see your process. It needs to feel your product. Like the butterfly emerging from the cocoon, you must not come out too early. But when the time is right, spread your wings wide and let them see what patience and persistence have created. And when you step back into the light, do so not with arrogance, but with purpose. Remember that your journey was not just for yourself. You endured silence, struggle, and growth so that you could become an example for others who are still trapped in their old selves. When you return, you are not merely living for your own success. You are carrying a torch to show others what is possible when they too choose to disappear and transform. This is the true victory: to vanish as one person and reappear as another. To step away not as escape, but as evolution. To disappear in weakness and return in strength. To leave behind the familiar and come back with power so undeniable that the world itself must adjust to your new identity. So when you return, do not return quietly. Return with a fire in your eyes, with clarity in your steps, with a destiny too strong to be ignored. Return as proof that transformation is real, that silence was not wasted, that pain was not pointless, and that vision was worth it. Return with power, and let your life be the answer to every doubt that ever surrounded you. So I urge you, do not fear disappearing. Do not fear stepping back from the noise, the distractions, even from the eyes of others. For it is in that disappearance that you will rise, transformed into the person destiny has been waiting for. Disappear, and transform yourself.